Hello, welcome to the Michael Sisco Show. I am your host, Michael Sisco, and we are honored to be joined by the newcomer in the orthosphere, I guess you could say, Allison, also known as A Devotional Heart, here on YouTube. Why don't you introduce yourself, Allison, while I set up Entropy real quick?
All right. Well, my name is Allison, and I am a newcomer to YouTube. This is my first experience as a content creator on YouTube. I have been in the coaching industry for the last couple of years, and today we're going to talk about a little bit about how the coaching industry that I was trained in differs from the kind of coaching that I'm doing now, which is centered with Christ and God as the focus of my client's life, rather than worldly things like money and making an idol of ourselves. So that's the general kind of topic that I want to talk about today, and also want to talk about my channel and what inspired me to start it. So thank you, Michael, so much for having me. This is my first interview. So you told me that you're not going to test me on anything related to orthodoxy. So I'm going to hold
we're gonna grill you. We're gonna give you a quiz, a catechism quiz today. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. So also, the main thing I wanted to say in my introduction of myself, two things. I'm getting over a bad cold, so I apologize for my voice. And secondly, I'm not an Orthodox Christian yet. I'm a catechumen. So I do not consider my channel an Orthodox channel yet. I hopefully will at some point. I'll be getting my the blessing of my priest to do that once I'm baptized. And I'm not a leader, spokesperson, teacher, anything like that in the Orthodox community. What I have done with my channel is to have only interviews with experienced Christians so I can learn from them, and also allow my audience to learn from them as well. So again, I'm not even an Orthodox Christian yet. I can't wait to be able to call myself that, and I'm humbly in the hands of my church and my priest to decide when that will be. But I kind of wanted to have, I wanted to portray my journey from New Age to Christianity in real time. I have to explain this. Yeah, any question like that, I'm really good at giving references and sending people to other people's channels who are good at explaining things related to orthodoxy, but I'm very careful not to put myself out there as like an expert in orthodoxy. I'm an expert in getting out of New Age and into Christianity. That's what I'm an expert in. So that's what I could talk about all day and all night about, but not technical things related to orthodoxy yet. But I'm learning. I try to read every day. So
oh man, they won't stop. They won't stop. You shouldn't have got them started. Shouldn't have got them started. But before we go any further, if everyone would check out store.vationmonks.com. Let's keep it going. The monks are very overwhelmed with the excessive orders, but who cares? They need the money, and we got to make up for Abbot Trifon not selling to the locals anymore because they're mad that he's not vaccinated. So we have to buy his coffee, and we have to keep buying it. It's the only coffee that you're allowed to drink. You understand, Allison?
Okay.
Like, you gotta buy Abbot Trifon's coffee.
And his soap. So, I want to buy some of those soaps too.
I ordered soap and coffee, and I haven't had the chance to try either yet. So I was very excited with the price of the soap. There's another monastery that I'm accustomed to buying soap from and live a lot closer to. The prices are nowhere as attractive as the as the soap prices at Christ the Savior Monastery in Washington.
Oh,
So
that's good to know.
yeah, yeah. Objectively, the only coffee that you're allowed to drink now. We don't make the rules; we just enforce them. That's right. That's right. If you drink any other coffee, you're gonna have to include it in your lifetime confession when you become Orthodox. So
This coffee better taste good. I'm kind of picky about coffee, so
I've heard that it's good. I haven't had a chance to try it. It's in the mail. It's on the way. So I will give a live review on the show. So we'll see how that goes. But I did watch. I got a chance to watch your little intro video on your channel, and I saw that's where I saw that you came from the background of life coaching and kind of the new age stuff. So now that you're a Christian life coach and a catechumen, are you a catechumen yet? Or
yes, I am a
okay.
catechumen.
So how did that whole transition happen?
All right. Well, it's a very long story because I was in the New Age for decades. So I'll kind of go through my life story in a nutshell. I think eventually I'm going to do a full-on testimony on my channel, but just for the sake of time today, I'll try to condense it and just give you the highlights and the bullet points.
Just give us every detail possible. Let's go.
And then also, I'm married and my husband has his story too. So it's kind of a difficult thing to talk about sometimes because I want to respect his privacy. And, so, I've been married for 20 years. So a huge part of this story has to do with my husband. And he hasn't yet come with me into this part of my journey, but anything can happen. I've talked to so many people who have been in a situation similar to mine, and anything could happen. And so anyway, I'll just start from the beginning. I wasn't raised Christian. My mother was raised Christian Scientist, but that's not really Christian. But that's the closest I ever got to Christianity and the Bible. And I was very rebellious in my teenage years because I had a very difficult childhood. My father was very emotionally unstable, mentally unstable. He was a Vietnam veteran. He suffered from PTSD and alcoholism. He was addicted to painkillers, and he just did not provide me with a stable childhood. My parents got divorced when I was very young, so my mother raised me mostly all by herself, and I was very rebellious as a teen. I quickly, in ninth grade, got into smoking weed, taking acid, doing, just being rebellious. And that took me into listening to the Grateful Dead, the music of the 70s, and just immersing myself in that type of culture where it was all about expanding your consciousness. And I literally had no exposure to Christianity. I didn't know anything about the Bible. And in the New Age, you stay away from the Bible because it was created by men to control humanity. And, it's this really bad thing. And the patriarchy is this really bad thing. And I got into Wicca and feminism type stuff, goddess worship. So, my friends and I would all call each other goddesses, and I lived in California, and it was just every stereotypical thing you could think of just Eastern mysticism and occult, like anything occult was really cool, and belly dancing, anything really exotic. Like I just had this desire to be spiritual and special and exotic. And my boyfriend at the time was really into Ouspensky and all these, occultic type writers like Blavatsky. Sorry, let me take a sip of water. So, Jimmy, yes, it just was common knowledge that any woman who worshiped the earth and the stars and the moon is automatically a goddess. And so that's just what we called each other. And so being in that type of world where everyone in my life was like this, very relativistic, doing psychedelics, just expanding your mind. And then all the stuff that Oprah Winfrey pushes, that was just normal. If you didn't think that way, there was something wrong with you, kind of thing. So I'm trying to paint this picture where I was A, rebellious, B, making an idol of myself, and C, just denying the existence of God, of the spiritual battle that I now know is happening, and just keeping myself very sheltered from the truth of Jesus Christ. And I was willingly doing that because that's how all my friends were. And I just, like I keep saying over and over, I just never knew anything else. So guess I'll just cut straight to a year and a half ago when I one day went over to my friend Shauna's house. And this was after, first, let me tell you that I lived much of my life with anxiety and depression. And so all this endless searching for knowledge and gnosis, and worshiping the moon, doing these rituals to the moon to manifest things, like that's very popular in the goddessy culture, is manifesting with the moon. So you do these different rituals when the moon is in a different phase. And it's kind of embarrassing to talk about this, but anyway, so I was also, like I said, very interested in Eastern mysticism, and I had been to India. I was just always searching for the next revelation of truth, what I thought was truth. And truth is relative when you're in the New Age. So it was like my truth and your truth. Everybody has their truth. And
your path.
Yes, this is my path. This is my journey. And ayahuasca ended up being a huge, huge part of this. For probably my last 10 years in New Age, I really believed that ayahuasca was the answer, and it was going to heal everybody who drank it. And
I'm actually not that familiar with that, and I was into occult stuff. So, but what can you explain what that is?
So it's tea. It's a drink. It's a brew, and it's been used in the Amazon. And I'm not. One thing I really want to let people know: I'm not here to shame people who are drinking this stuff. And because I have compassion, because I was there. I was that person who drank it and really thought that it was going to heal me spiritually, and it does. I mean, it has to have a little bit of truth and a little bit of healing to get people hooked into it. Otherwise, nobody would want to drink it if it didn't actually have a little bit of something true about it. And the shamans in the Amazon who've been using it for thousands of years, respectfully, I can't speak to that type of usage of it where the shaman in the community would be the one drinking it, not every single person. And there was preparation that would go into getting to be at that place where you were allowed to drink it. And now these days, anybody can you don't even have to go to the Amazon. I mean, I never even had to leave my hometown. I live in a town of 4,000 people. And I never even went more than 20 minutes away from my house to participate. I mean, it's very, very common now. Like I said, anybody can just drink it, and it takes you to demonic realms. It's opening portals, and the next day you drink it in a group, and the next morning you sit in the circle and you share your experience of like what you were told and what you realized. And everybody has these deep, not everyone, it doesn't always happen, but typically there's some kind of revelation, something about your childhood or something. So I'm not going to say that it's all fake or doesn't have any benefit at all. But for me, I know I will never, ever drink it again. It's like I said, it's opening up yourself to demons. But in that community, nobody talks about it that way. You could have the most scary visual experience, and still the next day you would want to drink more. So it's really, really strange. But I feel like I've gone off on a tangent.
Oh no, it's okay. So how did we get from there to discovering Christianity and Orthodoxy?
So one day, a little over a year ago, I went over to my friend Shauna's house, who I had known for about 10 years, and she and I had been on very similar journeys, drinking, experimenting with different gurus and teachings and books, and because what you do is you just kind of pick and choose what you like, and you make up your own religion, whatever feels good. Like it has a lot to do with just like following your bliss, and it feels good, so you do it. And so I really trusted her when she used this term false light, and I don't remember what we were talking about. It was a guru or somebody. It was the first time I really heard this term false light. She said, that guru is a false teacher. And when I tune in, and she was very intuitive, she was like, when I tune into that teacher, I get a lot of false light. And I had heard of Lucifer. I kind of knew about this idea of like the demonic realm and the evil in the world. But like I said, when you're in New Age, you just don't really think about evil, and you don't think anything of the spiritual battle that's going on, because everything is just part of your evolution. And if something bad happens, then, or you interface with some negative energy or entity, that's just your shadow, and you just need to integrate that part of you. And so it was the first day in my memory that I opened myself to this idea that maybe there is a demonic realm, and maybe Lucifer is actually a real thing, where a beautiful vision on a drug like ayahuasca could actually maybe be demonic and just be dressed up as beautiful and spiritual. And so from that day on, I don't know, I started seeing Bible verses on Facebook, which was weird because I didn't really follow any Christians, but I mean, that I knew of. I had 4,000 friends on Facebook, but to my knowledge, they were all witchy and, feminist. And so somehow biblical scripture started coming into my life. And I decided I wanted to get a Bible. So I asked my cousin, because he's a Christian. He's the only Christian in my life. And I used to just kind of think like, oh, how cute. He's a Christian. Like, too bad he doesn't read the books I read. There's just so much pride. Okay, there's a lot of pride. And I've repented. I'm still repenting, even talking right now about my past. I hope it's clear that I am so sorry. Like, I am so humble in the way that I don't know how I spent 30 years rejecting Christ. I really don't. but all I can say is I'm just so grateful that I'm not doing that anymore. So anyway, I bought, he recommended an NIV. I bought it. I started reading it. I found myself being attracted to this Gnostic kind of Christianity that talks about Christ Sophia. So there's like this goddess, there's still like this goddess element of of following Christ, but there's still like this feminine part. So it was somehow acceptable to me to I'm so silly, I know, but I had to go through these stages. Some people, when Christ reveals himself to them, it's like boom, like they have a dream, a vision, they see him, they fall on the floor, beg for his forgiveness, and from that moment they just become Christian. And it really wasn't like that for me. I mean, it's different, it's different for everybody. So I went through this limbo kind of Gnostic period, and that lasted a few months, and I didn't know anything about Orthodoxy at this time. And so this was about a year ago. I started meeting people who were leaving New Age, becoming Christians, and we were forming these communities on Telegram and Facebook. And it was really nice to have a community and have the support of people that knew kind of what I was going through, or I was slowly but surely re-evaluating every single thing that I thought was true, like from reincarnation to, like I said, these moon rituals, and throwing out all my New Age books. I never really did I never did black magic, but I never did spells. Like I never cast spells on people, but the moon rituals and manifesting and worshiping the earth, like all that kind of stuff, I was letting go of that. And so it was really nice to have this community, but I felt like the odd person out in some ways, because now I understand they grew up as Western Christians, Protestants, mostly, from evangelist backgrounds, Pentecostal, Calvinist. So I didn't have any of that growing up. So they were kind of returning back to what they knew about Christianity. Whereas I felt like I just always felt like I was kind of on the outside. I didn't talk about Christ the way they did. I just knew that the Bible was speaking to me and that it was now my guide for life. And I just read it as much as I could. And then when I found out about Orthodoxy, it was just the most amazing experience, because I felt like I was home. And I learned about it through Church of the Eternal Logos, which I always refer on my channel. I'm always talking about Patrick, and just the content that he creates just really resonated with me. Because resonate, that's a New Age term that I still use, I guess. I responded to it. I don't know what's a better word, but related to his story and the things he was sharing. And then of course, Jay Dyer and Bobby Risto on Bobby's perspective. And then your mate, Tom, because most of these guys, I guess not Jay Dyer as much, but they came from a similar background like me. They were into consciousness, expanding consciousness, spirituality, exploring Eastern mysticism. And then it brought the, I truly believe that everybody is searching for Christ, and Orthodoxy is the answer. I truly believe that. And, to have this church that is still the same, it's so humbling to me. Everything I learned about the history of the church fathers, I'm still only, I hardly know anything, but I was so hungry for these books and Father Peter Heer's work, and especially, Father Seraphim Rose. I love his books. I recommend his books on my Instagram. So I'm trying to paint this picture for you guys, that all these little pieces started coming together for me once I discovered Orthodoxy on YouTube. And then I went to my parish. I walked into the church where I'm now a catechumen, and it was just, it's the most beautiful church. I met some of the people there. I didn't go to a service right away. I went on a day where there were just a few people. Yes. Yeah. Actually, Orthodoxy and the Religion of the Future. That was one of the very first books I read.
Based?
Yeah, it's so good. I have a picture of that on my Instagram. It's the most liked photo in my grid by far.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. All of us in the kind of the public interdox sphere, as won't go any further than that, but we all seem to have an occult background, which is, I've been contemplating this. I'm like, oh well, maybe because we have such a vigor because we've seen the spiritual element of the other side, and so we really understand, the battle that's being that's being drawn. So
yeah, and with my channel, I'm really hoping to reach people who are searching, because I know they're searching for truth. I know they're searching for truth. That we're all searching for truth. And if my channel can show up in somebody's recommended feed, and they watch an interview that I do with you, which you're going to be one of my guests soon, or Patrick from Church of the Eternal Logos, he's agreed to let me interview him. If one person sees that video and they decide, like, it just plants a little seed, oh, I think I'll check out an Orthodox church and see what it's like, that would make me so happy, because that's how I discovered Orthodoxy. Prime doesn't have.
We don't need no wands, nibba. JK. I don't know if you know Patriarch Prime. He's a young African American Zoomer Orthodox account. So funny. Yeah, we got to get you on. Well, no, that's bad advice. Don't get on Twitter. Don't get on Twitter.
I can't join anymore. I just joined the Discord. I don't even know what I'm doing on there. I have too many apps, and then somebody told me to join Gab.
Gab is good. I like Gab. Gab is the future.
Actually, I think it was the gentleman that just commented. Actually, the Black Orthodox Acolyte. Is that your name?
I get. Is that Patriarch? Who is that?
The last person that commented, he said he's on Gab, and then somebody was telling me I need to join Gab, and I'm like, I'm on too many apps.
Well, I could make a joke, but I won't make it about women and the internet. But
yeah, I know you want to tease me for being.
I'm resisting. Yeah, I'm holding back. I'm terrible at this, but so I know you also come from, you got into the, I don't know, did you have any more for that story to tie it all together, or what is that?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Alrighty. So what exactly is life coaching, and why would it be beneficial for someone to use your new Christian method as opposed to the old method?
So basically, it's a lot of what I already said about making ourselves an idol, making money an idol. I was in a year-long training with a woman who is arguably at the top of the secular coaching world. There's no one who has the influence that she has, and she's not a Christian. Oh, hi, Rachel. I get absolutely missed. Oh, I missed it. Sorry. I read it too fast, and then I tried to read it again, and it was gone.
Oh, hang on. I can put it back. There you
Really? Oh, messed with? Is that what you mean, messed with?
go.
Rachel, thank you for being here. That's so sweet.
Okay,
And if anybody doesn't know, Rachel was one of my guests, and I'm super excited for her book to come out, The Occult Roots of Feminism. It's going to be so good. She's sending me a signed copy. So Rachel, thank you for being here. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, coaching. So again, I'm not here to call anyone out. I'm not here to shame anybody. I was in the same industry with all these women that are promoting making tons of money. So there's this idea that if you're a business coach, then you have your clients who are business coaches starting their business coaching business, and then their business consists of teaching other women how to be business coaches. You can kind of see where I'm going. It's not exactly a multi-level marketing scheme, but it's got a structure like that. Okay, so that's not the only thing that people are coaching. It's whatever you have excelled in, whatever you feel you're an authority in, then you start a business helping to teach other women that skill or whatever it is. Okay, so this whole community is on Facebook, which I'm not on anymore, and there's a lot of sisterhood. I want to emphasize that there are a lot of really positive things about it. It's just like, if God is not the center of what you're doing, you're just going to be running around in circles. So the way I see this profession is, when is it enough? Is a $10,000 a month income enough? Well, of course not. So you got to then go on to like a $20,000 a month income, $50,000 a month income. And this industry, in my experience, is the only one where it's accepted to be talking about how much money you're making. And at first, when I first noticed that, these women would be saying, I hit my goal. I made $25,000 this month. I think, okay, like I probably wouldn't be sharing that. That's kind of interesting. Okay. But then I started seeing it happening so much. And what it does is it gets other women to think, oh, you must have the answer. You must know something that I don't know. So I'm going to take your course and I'm going to spend $3,000 on it, but it's going to help me get to where I need to be so that I can make $25,000 a month. And so I'm not saying all of these women are focused so much on money, but the industry itself is very, very focused on money. However, the woman that I took the year training from, she did focus on money, but she focused on other things too, like relationships, communication, taking action, being really intentional with your time, building confidence. There are these good qualities and things that were built into the way that she taught. And so, like I said, I'm not here to like criticize her or anything like that. And I just, for myself, now that I'm a Christian and God, and putting God first in my relationships, in everything, everything I have in my life is because of God. I wake up grateful. I fall asleep grateful. I try to do the Jesus prayer all day long and just submit myself to his will. And so if being a life coach for Christian women is something that is meant for me, I am going to do it with my full heart and soul for the purpose of serving him and serving other people, not to make $25,000 a month. Because I know I'm supported. I know I have everything I need in my life, and going on fancy trips, buying fancy clothes, shoes, all that kind of stuff, not important to me. I was a real estate agent for 4 years, and it's not an easy job, but when you get that paycheck, it's a lot of money, but it wasn't fulfilling to me. And so that's how I got into coaching, the idea of coaching in the first place. And then I had to leave my old Facebook business page, my Facebook group, my Instagram, my old Instagram, because now I'm a Christian. Now those worldly ideas of manifesting with the universe, because it's all about the universe. In this group of this community of women that I was in, there was one Christian, and I became friends with her when I was starting to, just at the end, when I was still on Facebook, but I knew I was going to be leaving. I became friends with her, and I said, how do you reconcile? I'll let you talk soon, Michael. Sorry if I'm babbling too much. Just tell me to shut up.
No. I was just gonna say, you were a Keller Williams agent, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. Why do you
Man.
think that? Why do I look?
Because they're always into that whole like affirmations. Like they're always into like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I want to clarify something. I wasn't a huge law of attraction person. I mean, I was a little bit, but yeah, I know what you mean about Keller Williams. Yeah,
sorry for distracting you.
The main guy of Keller Williams is really into that. Yeah, the law.
Yeah, which I recognized as like a cult, and because I used to be a realtor. I was actually a co-owner of a brokerage.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I was with Weicker, and I hated Keller Williams because I was not just because they're good. I mean, it was like because of that stuff. Like I read their book, and I was like, this is a cult. This is like this is bad.
So that book is to real estate what this secular coaching is to coaching, where this idea of like infinite potential, evolution, it's all about like becoming better, self-improvement, self-glorification. And but like I said, I'm not saying it's all bad. It's just not based in Jesus Christ. So like where is that going to head? It's making an idol of things that we should not be making an idol of.
Yeah. I mean, how in sync would you say it was to your new age stuff, to your cult stuff?
Oh, very, very much, very much. It was. That's why I was easy prey to take the training. I mean, I don't regret it. I learned a lot, but this woman makes a lot of money. I mean, she's very charismatic, and I really believe she loves her clients. I wasn't a personal client. She charges, if you can believe this. Well, Anthony Robbins, I think he charges like $1 million an hour. So she's not at that level, but she does make multiple millions of dollars a year just on her private clients. And then she teaches courses. So she teaches you how to create courses. And then from those courses, then you get private clients. And I will never, ever in a million years be charging anything near what she charges. I don't care what happens. Like I said, I would love to just make enough to feel like I'm like I can support myself doing it. And even with my channel, I don't have any plans to monetize my channel or anything like that. My husband,
I monetize my channel,
I
so
think I think that's great. I think there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not my goal. Is just what I'm saying. Like if it did happen someday, that would be great, but that would be long time down the road. My battery on my
Uh-oh.
laptop is gonna die. So would you excuse me while I got my charger?
Yeah, sure. I'll get super chats while you're gone. All right. We did get one super chat from Rich. He says, "Great work. Women, especially young moms, need great content like yours and alternatives to AFR." I endorse that comment, but we won't get my guest. We won't sully the guest with any controversy. So
That was my first rule.
Ortho Lou says, "What's her channel called?" It's A Devotional Heart.
And like I said, I have this week, I have John Pro, an iconographer. He's going to be coming on the show. And Jerry, are you still watching? He's going to be one of my guests. And oh my gosh, I'm sorry. All of a sudden, my mind went blank. Hold on, let me get my list.
No worries. John Anon says, "Good job on your interview. You have good guests and let them talk." Well, yeah, I've been doing this channel originally was my show was literally only interviews for maybe like a year and a half. And then finally people were demanding that I give my opinions. And that's when I started to get in trouble. I started giving my opinions. But but yeah. So can you give us like a maybe a practical example of how you kind of like Christianized your work and kind of de-occulted it?
So the main difference is that my clients are required to be Christians. They either need to be a Christian or wanting to learn about Christianity. So I'm not, I mean, the style of coaching that I do, it just wouldn't work for somebody who wasn't putting God first in their life. And I'm not going to be doing any spiritual guidance or anything, that I'm going to recommend they go see their priest to talk about things like that. But I don't know if that makes sense. So the woman that I took the training from, she said something once that really stuck with me. She said, if there's something that you think is missing in the world, like you are looking for something, if you're looking for something, there's a really good chance that somebody else is too. So create that, be that person that you're looking for, if that makes sense. So like I said, when I was in that world on Facebook and there was only one other Christian in that whole thousands and thousands of women, there was a need for something, and I saw that need, and so that's what I'm creating. I'm creating what would have served me. I'm creating that because I know there are other women looking for it.
Yeah. I gotta make somebody an admin real fast in the chat. I gotta make somebody a mod.
And so one of the other people that I'm interviewing this week is Pano. Everybody knows Pano.
Nice. Pano, let's go.
And so all of my guests have been so kind, while I've been sick over the last couple of weeks, and I've had to reschedule them a couple times because I thought I was getting better and then I wasn't. And so now I am better, but you can still kind of hear my sinuses. But and so Bobby Risto from Bobby's Perspective, he said he would be on my show. And Mia's coming back. If anybody knows my channel, they know Mia because she's been on the show twice. And we talk about New Age to Jesus type stuff because we both came out of the New Age at the same time. She was my client. She was my coaching client.
Oh, wow.
when I was in that limbo Gnostic period that I talked about. She was my client, and now we're like best friends. So
Oh, that's awesome. Brandon, I made you a mod, Brandon, because I saw some maybe needed in the chat. So um, we got some sort of spurging happening in the chat. So Brandon is a mod. So if you can take care of that for me,
I
since
can't see the chat.
oh
There it is.
okay. Yeah.
Uh, there's
Yeah.
a troll. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw some sort of commotion, so it looked like I needed to.
Oh, this is fun. Alexandra, hello. It's good to see you. Alexandra is in every chat that I'm ever in. It's really interesting. We like game content creators.
That's cool. That's cool. So what are you? This final question, actually. What is your goal for your channel? Which you may have hit on a little bit already.
Yeah. So I am humbly learning from my guests, as I told you. It's kind of like it's going to be really fun, in a few years to look back at my interviews, the early interviews. Like the Brother Augustine interview was so good. I learned so much, and I've gotten so many amazing comments from people that they learned so much too. And so yeah, I feel like it's going to be, for me, it's going to document my new life in Orthodox Christianity, and then for my audience, it's going to help plant seeds. I know I can't convert anybody, and I'm not trying. I'm just planting seeds and then letting God do the rest from there. So that's about it.
Well, glory to God. Glory to God.
Glory
And
to
viewers, don't be shy. Feel free to send some super chat questions in. So I'm guaranteed they're guaranteed to be read. Are you okay with taking calls if anyone wants to?
That would be so much fun. Yes.
Wants to hop on? All right, I dropped the link in the chat, so if anybody wants to call in, feel free. For now, we'll just have a little fun until they get here. So, who's your favorite saint so far? Do you have any favorite saints that you're really connecting with?
So my godmother asked me that the other day because, she's just wondering if I know who my patron saint is going to be, and I'll announce that at a later time. But I have these books. Speaking of saints, I got these used at my parish bookstore, and they're a saint every single day for all 365 days. And so I'm learning. So the saints that interest me the most, this will be no surprise, are the women who were pagan and converted to Christianity. So I'm sure that my patron saint will, that'll be part of her story, which is quite a few of them. But the mother of Constantine is one of my favorites, and Saint Helena.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just in the very beginning stages of learning about them.
Nice. Yeah, no, the saints are fun. They
What about you? Who's your favorite?
well, my patron saint, I can't not say my patron saint. So Saint Michael the Archangel. When I actually wanted Saint Maximus the Confessor, because I really liked his refutations of the Monophysites. But my priest, especially because of my background in occultism and stuff, he was like, "Well, your name is already Michael, and you really need an archangel because you're screwed up. You're really bad." So, so I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." So Saint Michael the Archangel it is, which is cool because honestly, it's probably right. I probably do need somebody from the heavenly hosts in my corner.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah.
So yeah, but I also feel very connected with Saint Nicholas the Passion Bearer. So I actually wear him. I have a pendant of Saint Nicholas, the Tsar, the last Tsar of Russia, on my neck. So
Oh,
yeah, in my icon corner too. So I'm very close to him. Um, yeah, yeah. So he's like I almost consider him like a secondary patron, but
hmm.
and Faye's making fun of me. She says, "Yes, I am screwed up." So, well, Faye, you know, at least I'm not Faye, okay? At least I'm not Greek, okay?
Hi,
Jacob,
Faye.
just
Faye, thank you for being here.
don't compliment Faye. There's a rule on my show is to not compliment Faye. Okay.
What? Faye is my friend.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Actually, I saw Faye like a couple weeks ago at a meetup. We had a meetup at St. Herman's actually.
Wow,
So,
how
well,
fun.
Faye says, "Hi, my love. Hi, my love."
Hello.
So, is anybody going to call in? We have an opportunity to call in. Nobody's going to call. Nobody wants to. They're all just so enamored with your story that they're.
I don't know how interesting it was.
No,
I
it was
think
good. It was interesting. It
my
was
main
interesting.
point, the main thing that I want to say, and like what really changed me, was when I realized that making knowledge the most important thing and making myself an idol for all those years, that pride, it had hardened my heart. It made it impossible for me to see truth because I was only trying to serve my own self-interest of having these conscious, awakening experiences. In the new age, everything's about awakening. Oh, I had my awakening in 2012. Oh, I had my awakening in 2018. Well, what I realized was that I hadn't awakened at all because I denied the truth of Jesus Christ. So everything is, the enemy takes everything and just turns it upside down. So I've been really praying and humbling myself. It's like the one thing I would tell someone new to Orthodox Christianity is the more repentance and the more willingness, the more you can just tell God, "I'm so sorry. I'm so so sorry." I mean, I've been in liturgy before and had this deep sorrow, like just I'm so so sorry. I'm so so sorry, and those tears and that willingness to let go of that pride, that is what has softened my heart, and that's where I got the name for my Instagram and my channel, Devotional Heart, because I really do believe that that's the key to letting God into your life, letting God bring people and situations, the most providential. I mean, the people in my church, the way they, especially my godmother over the last few weeks, they're showing me in their life and in their actions what it is to be a Christian and how to serve people. I mean, she brought us food. We couldn't leave the house. We haven't really gone anywhere. We've been in isolation for 3 weeks, and my godmother brought us food. She was always checking in on me every single day. And I just thank God every day that I have someone like that in my life. And, just learning how to be as Christ-like as possible. And just that transformation and that process is just so beautiful. And that's really what I hope to share too with my channel and my story.
Glory to God. That's awesome. That's good. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that's all I have. It doesn't seem like
Father
anyone.
Deacon?
Yeah, Father Deacon's here. He says great news, I guess, to I guess for your becoming catechumen. So,
Father Deacon, I'm so humbled. He's one of my favorite. He's one of my favorites.
well, now, we do have a caller. We have a caller, but now Father Deacon has to call. Now he has to call in for for Allison. Got it. But we have Greg here. How's it going, Greg?
Good. Greg from Houston, Texas. Mental health counselor, believe it or not. One of the similarities I see with Allison's story is that having entered mental health as a profession, counseling and psychotherapy, is that it's become so political that people that that become the leaders of the organizations that run the industries and do the lobbying for the mental health profession. It's all to promote left-wing Marxist LGBTQ activities. And they don't even have a space. They'll even mock and ridicule Christians. I mean, there still are Christian counselors and there still are Christian psychotherapists, but it amazed me. And I even went to a seminar with some of the most liberal people in the Houston area that were in the counseling profession. And I thought it was kind of funny, Allison talking about money. Although they were all left-wingers, all they talked about was money. So they don't really seem to be that interested in the helping people.
Right.
Yeah. They weren't communists, obviously. They were left, but they weren't.
Well, yeah, it's a self-elected elite, I think, that they want.
Yeah.
Make themselves the elite of by self-electing themselves and promoting their own agendas, which is not what it's about. It's about helping people do what's important to them and to become good, even if you don't agree with them. But it just amazed me how much they've destroyed that profession. And I'm really glad to hear Allison's story and your story. And I think you're great people.
Oh, thanks, Greg.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And I do want to share too, because I don't think I mentioned this. I do have my priest's blessing to do Christian coaching. He was actually like the first thing he said when I told him was he said, "Oh yeah, we really need more Christian coaches." So I totally bless that.
Awesome. Really well, you're a first-time caller, Greg. Is this your first time watching, or?
I've watched some of your stuff with David Patrick Harry, and I think is it the brother or the deacon or?
This Father Brother Deacon. Augustine and Father Deacon Aeneas.
I don't want to say a guy with a long beard because about most of the Orthodox guys have that, but the guy was kind of balding with a beard.
Balding.
Oh, well, Brother Augustine has short hair.
Oh, okay. Couldn't really see too well, but yeah, I'm here in Houston.
Oh, nice. Are you Orthodox?
I'm an inquirer. I was raised Roman Catholic. I went to Catholic school up to my junior year in high school in the Detroit area. Even then I could tell the church was very, corrupt. The Roman Catholic Church. I would have graduated from my Catholic school in 1985, but I went the last 2 years to public school.
Okay.
But even in my parish, like the nun that was supposed to be the principal of our grade school and middle school, or junior high as they called it in Detroit, she ran off with the maintenance man. Got married to him, and one of the priests was allegedly making advances on people, though he did things with other people, but not, as far as I know, no one at my actual parish.
Okay, so have you had a chance to visit any?
Yes, yeah, I've visited. Maybe it's a commitment thing. I feel like I can't commit, or at least I feel like I should be able to go to every service, on time for at least a year before I convert.
Well, I don't know about that, but
well, the major services, I always show up late and kind of sit in the back and.
Yeah, well, we got to get you on time, man. But we're always late. We have something called ortho time, which is like 15 minutes late. That's Orthodox time. So some people call it Russian time or Greek time. And for me, it bothers, like it drives me crazy because I'm very punctual. So, but anyways, good to have you. I'm getting a bit of an echo, so.
Okay, all right. Thank you for having me. All right, have a good rest of the broadcast.
Thanks, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I see Pano in the chat. Maybe he could call in.
Hey, Pano, why don't you call in? We haven't had Pano on the stream in a while. So I endorse that idea. So Pano
If
should
Father
call
Deacon, if Father Deacon's still here, that would be fun.
I don't know. I asked
really
him,
wanted to go to Montanica. I wanted to go so bad.
You have to apologize for not going.
I do. Well, it was my cat's fault. My cat kept me from going. So.
Wait, your cat?
My cat, yeah.
So further proof that cats are demonic. Further proof.
Oh, Michael, no.
Further proof.
No.
Yeah. Cats are they scare the angels away. So I'm just kidding. Father Deacon can't call in. He's building our new website, Patristic Faith, right now.
Yay!
So
that's so exciting.
I can't be lucky enough to have all these epic call-ins every time I stream. But I do like being a call-in show. It's been I think a good improvement to the Michael Sisco show over the last.
Maybe Alexandra, are you still there? That'll be fun. So Alexandra knows people in my parish because I don't remember how she knows them, but in meetings right now.
Good things are happening.
Oh, and I saw Father Deacon skateboarding. Did you guys see that video?
I did not. But cats are demonic, confirmed.
You guys are wrong. My cats bring me so much joy. How can they be demonic?
We're just kidding. It's a joke. I'm giving you a hard time.
Not allowed.
So. But all right. I think that's all we got right now. Where can people find you? How can they, I guess, you can even advertise where can they find you for your coaching?
Oh, well, I do everything through Instagram. Just send a DM, and I'm only coaching women. Cats are, that's true though. Cats have toxoplasmosis. I will agree with that, but they can't help it. You have 3 cats. That's nice. I had 4 at one time. I have a trifle likes cats. See, I have a trifle likes cats. So yeah, on Instagram at A Devotional Heart, there's a period between each word, and on YouTube, of course. Everybody please subscribe so you can watch my interviews with Pano and John Pro and Jerry from Exposing Powerful Lies. And then in the upcoming weeks, I'll have hopefully Michael Sisco and Bobby Risto and Patrick from Church of the Eternal Logos.
Oh, apparently I missed the super chat. Hang on.
Oh yeah, there was a super chat about my husband. No, my husband is not Orthodox yet, but there's about 30 people praying right now that he becomes Orthodox. You never know. He was raised Catholic, so he had some bad experiences with the nuns in Catholic school, but he's going to meet the people that I'm friends with at church. He's coming to church. He just hasn't agreed to convert yet, so it's going to be a process.
I gotcha. Awesome. Well, thank you for the 199 Black Ortho Acolyte. I don't know how I missed your super. The chats have been moving very quickly, so.
Sorry, we didn't mean to ignore your super chat.
Yeah, and it's not because it's only 199. Okay. Now, if it was like if you moved the decimal over a couple spots, it would be better. But it's okay. I appreciate all the support I can get. And I do have a wedding to go to. Don't say anything. So I need about $150 more from the Cash App. It's in the description for the fun there. But it was a pleasure having you on, Allison, and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah, you're going to be on my show next. That'll be really fun.
Deal. I'll come on. It'll be fun.
And thanks everybody for being here. The chat is really fun. I didn't realize I could turn it on until like 10 minutes ago. But
are you boomer teching, Allison?
I am. Yeah,
so.
That's why I don't even. I mean, the idea of doing a live stream is, I mean, the learning curve I feel like is going to be really high. But once I get over that and I learn how to do it, I think it's going to be really fun to do.
Yeah, it's just software, OBS or StreamYard. I use StreamYard, but other people use OBS. So
I think my computer might be too old for either of those.
We got to fix that. Oh, Father John Whiteford says, what's the name of your channel again?
It's A Devotional Heart. Just type in A Devotional Heart and you'll find it. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Let me see if I can link it real quick.
Oh, yeah. That'd be easy.
Yeah, can you put it in there's a private chat on the right over there.
Well,
if you drop it there, I will drop it in the comment section for everybody.
I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can.
Yeah, no pressure.
Because, I don't have enough subscribers. So I don't get to have like a fancy name for the URL. It has to be, the long URL.
I never even fixed mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still have the long one.
I want to make a quick private chat. All right, there it is. Do you see it?
Yep. And so I'll go ahead and put that in there. Copy link address.
Jimmy says I just linked both, assuming they went through.
Oh, cool. So they beat us to it.
But I don't see it. I don't see links anywhere.
Well, I dropped it, so it should be should be fine. But anyways, big week next week. I have so I'm going to be starting a series on Genesis, creation, and early man with the help of Father Seraphim Rose. Ooh. And more importantly, we're going to have a very special. I'm going to have a tryout for Ancient Faith Radio. We're gonna have a very special episode where I celebrate all of the successes and of our good friends over there at Ancient Faith Radio. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a whole 2 hours of just celebrating and appreciating the work of Ancient Faith Radio. So don't miss that. Next week it's gonna be a fun week. Very fun week. No tongue-in-cheek, nothing ironic. It's going to be completely serious, okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be great. And so once again, thank you, Allison, and I'll see you guys next week.